Peace and love, peace and love. Sister Nzinga here from Flowing and Growing with Sister Nzinga. Talk about it Tuesday. Did y'all miss me? I sure did miss you guys. But whoo, life was lifing, and I'm traveling, and it was just moving around, running through the airports, and I was trying to get to it, and just almost missed my flight and stuff. It was like a little touch and go. So I had to kind of like just get settled and stuff, and get myself together. So I'm here now. I'm back. Hope everybody was well. Hope you're thinking, because it ain't illegal yet. And I hope that you are making plans for yourself for now and the future. But it's so much to talk about on these Tuesdays. So so first, I really will say I apologize for not being there last week. But yeah, life was really life, and the way things was going, it just didn't find opportunity. And like I said, I'm traveling, so it's difficult sometimes when you're moving around. But thank you to all the subscribers, those with the likes, the thumbs up, and especially those that leave comments. All right, so let's get it. Phew. I think I'm going to talk about the system and how that it has bamboozled us. That's I use it a lot, but that's the best way of putting it. That the Malcolm had put it, that we are bamboozled, we're hoodwinked, because some of us really don't see any way out of what society offers. I was having a conversation, and we were going back and forth. We were talking about some different options that people have, like homeschooling, for instance. That you could be doing homeschooling, or you could, as far as making choices, as far as eating is concerned, that there are options. But what the comeback was that was okay in reference to homeschooling, is that that it's not good for a child to be kept at home, because the way the system has it set up, how bullying is. And I was trying to to have the dialogue back and forth, but but they had good points too. And in reference to the fact that if you do homeschool your child, then you don't go catch the bus like all the other children in the neighborhood type thing. I mean, you can still participate in things at the community center, or you can do this and that and that. But the way the society has things, how the children mistreat children, is they say if that was the child who doesn't ride the school bus, they'll all tease him, like, that's the boy homeschool. He stay home. He don't go to school. There's something to tease him about or bully him about, or or say even if he does come to the community center to play basketball with the boys and so forth like that, he's still looked at the one that, all those other children, they have opportunity to, to socialize in school, but he only socializes them at the community center when he comes out and stuff. And then he may get picked on, which is, this is the thing, he may get picked on because the way society think, if you're different, then you got to be picked on, the bullying situation. And I say that's really terrible. That's really terrible how that's really a reality of the world, that the child would be picked on just because they're different. I mean, if they have on a different sneaker, if the parent doesn't want to spend all that 200, $100 or more, or whatever is on a sneaker for your child. If they have on something, everybody wearing Jordans. I don't know the names of these damn shit that everybody wearing, but if everybody's wearing something, if you don't have that on, that that you'll get teased. Because my first reaction was that you have to teach your child to be courageous and have some confidence in himself, and let them know, and to know this, because I have on these sneakers and y'all got those sneakers on. That don't make you no difference for me. You ain't jumping no higher. You ain't doing nothing different. But it's the peer pressure that society has built in this indoctrination that they have given us, that that allows a child have to be concerned, has a parent have to be concerned about wanting to do something different for their child, and thinking that, oh my God, my child's gonna get teased if we don't say, if your child doesn't eat meat, you go to the cafeteria every day, everybody's getting food, and he's not ordering any meat, that the possibility that that the parent would say, well, I wouldn't want to do that, because then that he's gonna get teased because he's not eating meat, and or maybe if I pack his lunch every day, he could get teased because, oh, your mom pack your lunch for you every day. And, I mean, what I'm saying? The world is sick, and so it makes people think that they don't have any options. And actually, this gentleman said to me, the man's 30 years old, and he said to me, you have no choice. You have no choice but to do it, but like everybody else does it. That's just the way it is. Just the way it is. And I think that's a sad commentary that for someone to have to look at life and say that you really don't have any options. I mean, but I think you do have options, and I think you just need to be confident. But they would tell me that I was looking at it from an adult point of view, not a child's point of view, in reference to the school thing. That I would need to be concerned. I mean, because I've had that experience. I taught my children the truth. Um I did stuff like weird stuff, like when it came time for picture day. I showed up that day and I changed my children's clothing and I put on African clothes on them. I figured these are my pictures. I'm paying for them, and this way I want my children to be dressed. I mean, and I would just do stuff like I didn't give my children cable. Um, we just had basic cable. We have all them channels. I forgot even what those names are. I've had them so long myself. HBO, Showtime, and all that kind of nonsense. And so I do understand, and I know my children do share with me that they felt ostracized, in some of the things that I would do for them. Um, that would be where I thought that I was living my truth, and it's sad to say that a child that a parent would have to just continue to put their child in this bullshit society situation, and because they think that their child may be bullied or may not, because they're gonna feel really different from everybody else. So um, that's really it was an interesting conversation. I wanted to carry it on a little further, but they had to go. So, but that's something to really think about. But you have to, I think, but the thing is that you have to have your child in community, where your child is not the only one who doesn't eat meat. Your child's not the only one that doesn't have on, name brand sneakers. Your child's not the only one who's being homeschooled and only you see the boys on the weekend, socialize and that kind of thing. So that was my issue, that because I didn't have friends who was living their truth. Some of them talked it, but they didn't. When it came to that, they wasn't living it. And so my children didn't have any other children to reflect upon, that was living a lifestyle the way that I chose to live my children's, the way our lifestyle was. And it's quite interesting that you know that these people have really effed up people to the point that they're scared, that fear tactic of your child not being able to what's the name? I even had a conversation with some people who said they didn't want to move out of the U.S. because they felt that their child wouldn't have opportunity to, like, say if they wanted to go into basketball, football, there ain't no scouts coming to like these little small, other countries, foreign countries, that they wouldn't have opportunity to if they were good at this thing, they would have an opportunity. And I also I think the solution to that would be that if you do choose to do that, then maybe in the high school years that you take your child to the states, let them participate in the high schools there, and let them go to college, in high schools in the U.S. if you fear that or need to have them in that environment. But it's just crazy how that there uh, it's all this nonsense is all built into the way this indoctrination is being done, and so it's quite difficult um, for people to understand. How do you go when you don't eat meat? How do you go move to another country? You don't know nobody there. How do you do these things? But I'm telling you, it is simple enough. You just have to have confidence in yourself, and you have to be courageous. Because it takes courage to do something different from everybody. I mean, I would use an example for me. When I go to the beach, I don't wear bathing suits. I choose not to. I don't think that society's going to tell me that now that I need to have on a bikini with a thong up my ass and my titties hanging out. I ain't got that much anyway in the first place. So that I don't wear bathing suits, and I think the bathing suit is like a bra and panty. What is the difference? One of them they say you can wear in the public. The other one you get locked up if you walk down the street like that with your bra and panty on. You know what I'm saying? So, but see, it don't make sense to me. It's not making sense to me. So anyway, but my point is that so when I go to the beach, I usually have on something like something you would exercise in. So I may have a top on, that don't have no sleeves or whatever. And then but my pants are coming like to my knee. My little stretchy pants, whatever things they're coming to my knee. Um, and so I'll be wanting to help people. I don't wonder, but I really don't give a damn. I mean, people may look at me funny and say, everybody walking around here, the women walking around here with thong bathing suits on. Even some of the bigger women still wear the damn thong things, and I don't understand how women can walk around because society, they say so, it's okay, with your ass hanging out. Like I said, my little tights are going to be coming down to my knee because from my knee down is all the public can see. Anything from my knees up to my private area. That's for me to choose who gets to see that. Because this is special, valuable, and it's not something I'm just going to expose because now they tell me that I can wear these bathing suits and stuff. I never was into that thing. And I think for myself. I mean, but I guess as an adult, I can handle that. But I guess maybe it's difficult for children. So really, the parents have to be really courageous and to be able to make up for the slightings that the child may have, to prepare them to be able to have confidence in themselves and to be okay with being different. Otherwise you just going to go along and do what everybody else does, and that's why I think that's what a lot of people do, because they have these different fears about this or that and the other thing, that they're going to be different, or that the child may get teased, and even as adults, some adults wouldn't even want to look different, because I don't I don't understand. I do understand, but I'm just saying, it's just flabbergasted me that people will wear stuff just because it's like in style, not even that it looks nice on them. Maybe those particular colors may not even look well on them, and because it says there's no analysis, there's no individual thinking about, well, how's this going to affect me? How does this look on me? How does this color work on me? How does this is this a style that accentuates my body, or is it just something that everybody else is wearing, so I'm just gonna go buy it, and I'm gonna wear it too. This it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about. How courageous are you? Are you just going along for okey doke because that's what everybody else is doing, and you fear that you may be slighted, or you may be um looked at differently. If you go out to the party and you have on a long skirt, because everybody else in there got on tight jeans, with tight pants, and something up to their thigh. I mean, I guess as an adult I don't feel no way, but I mean I was even that way when I was younger, because I've always wore long skirts. So I've never got to the point. I guess doing work, and sometimes I may used to wear something to my knee, but I think as a more of a mature adult, that I've always worn my skirts to my ankles, and I continue to still do that now. Um, so I guess it's courage. It's courage, and knowledge of self, and confidence in myself, that because when I step out, even though I'm fully clothed and maybe my arms is covered, my legs is covered, but I know that what I have on accentuates my body and it looks good on me. And after that, nothing else don't matter. You know what I'm saying? so so you have to have that I don't give a fuck attitude. I guess basically that's what it boils down to. Oh boy, it's rough. It's rough living in this world, boy. It's rough in this world. It's rough living in this world. But you can do it, and you can do it in peace. You don't have to find, a comfortability for yourself, and be okay with yourself. And you don't have to do what everybody else doing. People say, you know, people try to get you to think like them or to do what they do. But at some point, you really got to think for yourself. And everything that someone, your friends, um, do and say or whatever, you don't have to agree with it. So that's something to think about. That's something to think about. How are you managing? Are you fearful and you're not moving forward? With things. And then the thing about it, if you don't change, do nothing different, it means you're not growing. So if you keep doing the same thing, same thing, same thing, same thing, you're not growing any. If you're not just tasting different foods, or going places where you've never been before, or experiencing anything different, if you're just doing the same thing, you're not growing. So think, y'all, it ain't illegal yet. I'm gonna stop there. God loves you, so do I. But that's something to think about. So let me hear some comments, and write some comments down to me. Talk black to me, so I can see what you're thinking. All right, y'all. Be well. Like I said, God loves you, so do I. Until next time.